All right, episode 3, cut the nonsense. My prep for the show. New York City, worst city in America, maybe the world. Newark Airport, the worst place, period, of any place ever. Number 3, Fanatics Fest might be the greatest thing to happen to the hobby ever. Or you might think it's horrible. Either way, I thought it was unbelievable. And number 4, Larry Bird is greater than Kevin Durant in every way, shape, and form. Better shooter, better passer, better teammate, better champion, more clutch, better trash talker. Elevates his game when he has to. So none of those things will be discussed on the show. But there's your show, episode 3. Daniel, Joseph, we have a couple guests today. 4 by my tally. We go from 0 to 4. We don't do anything here halfway. There you go. That's it. I hope you boys are ready.
Like that notepad.
That was the prep, baby. That's in the shape of a t-shirt.
I really enjoyed Kevin Durant's kind of banter that he had about the trade and doing it on stage. And then kind of making it that, that people in Phoenix didn't want him anymore. I don't know if
nobody wants him. He's a loser. Yeah, I absolutely hate I didn't even want to talk about Kevin Durant or the championship, but Kevin Durant is the most spineless athlete of all time. Superstar caliber athlete of all time. The ultimate sellout when he goes to Phoenix or to Golden State to win on the coattails of a great team. Can't win anywhere else. He's 37. He's an injury mess at this point. And now he's going to go to Houston and ruin a great core that just had the 3rd best record in all of basketball last year. Maybe the 2nd.
Wait till they sign Russell Westbrook. Yeah.
James Harden wants to go there now, too. He just came out this morning and mentioned that. Perfect. You know what? I could do without Houston. I spent 2 weeks there once. Spent a night there 1 week. You can get rid of Houston. You can get rid of New Jersey and New York City. I would have no issue.
I couldn't believe who we got in the trade. I don't know. I'm really disappointed. Like I said last week, I wanted Sengun.
Sure.
And we got Jalen Green, who you said last week, Mike, has just been nothing.
Awful. Yeah,
and then
good young player, though. I can't kill him, but was terrible in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's 23. He just wasn't getting a shot. But the other thing that was terrible is that we're getting Dylan Brooks, who is he's a locker room nightmare. He's going to bring some toughness, and then you get the 10th pick. So you're in the lottery, but you're not really getting a lottery like big name. So I don't know. There's potential there. They're talking about getting a kid from University of Arizona, which is a 6'6" forward. We have no size on the front line. So I don't know. You replace a 6'11" guy with a 6'6" guy. So
can we talk about him finding out of Fanatics and whether or not that was true?
Yeah, it was on stage, right?
Yeah, but he even hinted that he knew it was going down, but he said he didn't know when. And to me, it's a very
he had a hand in it.
Right. Well, he also gave the list of the only teams he would go to. So to Gio's point, that's just something.
Yeah, he's terrible. The only thing that's good about this is now I think it opens up. If anybody was going to make a play for one of the two, now things are open up where, hey, Giannis is the only other unbelievable superstar out there. I don't think he's moving, but if I'm San Antonio, I would give up the world. I think that would be amazing for the hobby. So there you go. There's your sport talk.
Well, I was hoping Leaf would roll out their Tops Now version hot tape card of we have leftover stickers.
Oh, the Giannis stickers.
Well, no, the Kevin Durant as a Rocket, because when he came to the Suns, they were flooded with the Phoenix Kevin Durant hollow stickers. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get them, but that would be great.
Terrible.
Can we talk about the things that Mike was wrong about? Like Fanatics Fest was mediocre and New York was fantastic?
No, that's it. Dude, there are people. First of all, Newark's a nightmare. I was supposed to land at 9 o'clock at night, Friday night. I didn't land till 1:10. Then I got an Uber XL. It was a Civic that was falling apart. The guy was
ordering an Uber XL?
Pen pay. Heck of a guy, I'll tell you that. He was from Tahiti, which is why I dropped the reference. Or Tagalog, Tahiti, one of the two. Great guy, though.
It was a real bond you had.
Excellent driver. I was pronouncing his name flawlessly by the end. Got to the hotel at 2 o'clock. The room, I got like this big room, so me and my brother would have plenty of space. Room was the size of a desk. People even at 2 a.m, people everywhere banging on the window wanting money as we're driving. I was like, I have no use for the city. The Javits Center itself was unbelievable. We'll have 2 guys on to discuss the show. I will tell you, though, I said this today, and it's not just because it's like it just happened. If you told me next year this event is going to be similar to how it was this year, and I can only go to one, which is not a total useless hypothetical, I would go to Fanatics Fest over the National. And I never thought I would say that. But the floor was unbelievable. I spent with 11 different dealers, and I was only on the floor for 3 or 4 hours. It was unbelievable. I got 2 amazing pickups. I want to brag. Game used Larry Bird tag. I've only ever seen one of those before. Boom, widescreen. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. Kevin McHale is number 2. I know there's some discrepancy there. Bird's the greatest. I've only ever seen one tag. It lives right up there. That's the second time I've ever seen a tag. And then PSA 9 and a new holder, the Bird rookie. I got those 2 within minutes of being on the floor. The dealers I thought were awesome. Like, yeah, there was no vintage. That's a huge downside in general, like for Danny's crowd. I don't think vintage sells there anyways. Like, honestly, Danny, I know you're looking for vintage, but who else there?
No. It's a kids event. But that's my point about Fanatics Fest in general. It's not a card show. There is a card show, and it's off to the side, but it's corporate. It's made for kids. It's made to be interactive. And I'm not kicking a soccer ball or running a 40-yard dash. And,
I don't know that.
I'm pretty sure at this point.
I'd like to see you and Joe square off in some of these, because Joe was renowned college athlete.
Thank you. Yeah, I was.
Thank you. My name is Joe.
Trending. Yeah, I was actually trending at one point.
He's got a picture.
I do. What I want to bring up though.
Is this true? Wait, is this true?
Yeah,
is this true?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll send it to you. I was trending.
Thank you.
We at one point where I went to school, Alma College, we did. They call them bubblegum shots for our program, and it was just the seniors, and they were goofy pictures, and I was top gunning with some aviators laying on the side, and they posted it on Twitter. Somebody did. It wasn't the school, and someone like put in the comments like, this guy looks like he has definitely a pickup truck, 5 kids, and owns an insurance agency. And not terribly far off, but
a little ahead of its time, but yes.
Little. What I really want to talk about though, Mike, is I don't understand the infatuation with people that have like the Bird card that you have, right? The Bird rookie.
Yes.
So you have one, but you were so excited to get it up to a 9 and pay the differential of whatever you owned before, like
$11,000.
Why?
That's a major up. It's like moving from an apartment to a house.
No.
What do you mean? Who cares? Like a PSA 8 is worth $2,500. A PSA 9, there's 600. Not a ton of new holders. That's the cleanest 9 I've ever seen, and it's a $15,000 card. It's a huge upgrade.
And as a witness, you spent exactly how long looking at the card before you knew you went to buy it?
Oh, yeah, Danny, it was the first table we stopped at. It was Nate Burns. I could have stayed in my own state to do this. He gave me a great price. He said $13,500 cash. I said, yes, I will. First of all, I'll take it at $13,500. If not, I'll give you my PSA 8 and 11.2. Because my PSA 8 was really clean. It probably goes closer to $3,000. So that way he has a little meat on the bone.
Wait. You only went up 1 grade?
Yeah, an 8 to a 9. Massive distinction, Joe.
Who cares? You're not selling this thing, right? Like, this is going in your collection, right?
I want the nicest copy. My goal at some point, that is one of my ultimate sellout collection moments, is if I could ever upgrade that to a 10, if I could ever land the Brady championship ticket or a crazy high-grade Bill Russell. There's like 3 or 4 cards where I sell everything else, get rid of everything, and move up for those. Not everything, but you know what I mean? Move like...
That's absolutely crazy to me.
I like having awesome cards.
Except for those cards, do you upgrade?
I brought my PC stuff. I always try to upgrade. Brady, Birds, Griffies. I have a lot of other stuff that I just have. I have a full Zion case full of $300 to $400 small stuff. But I love to have, like, if it's a $3 Griffey that's cool, I'm in. But on the big Grail stuff, yeah, I want the highest grade possible.
That's absolutely insane. Like, I thought you went from like a 6 to a 9 or a 5 to a 9. Like, you just went up 1 grade.
But the cool thing is that the 8 I bought for $792 years ago on eBay before the spike really happened. So now I look at a card that was at that card used to be $30,000 during the spike. I have $11,800 into it. I was pumped. Yeah, absolutely psyched. And if I ever had the chance of like, hey, here's the PSA 9 and a rental property for a 10, done. You're never going to see a 10. Like that'll never be a chance. But in a heartbeat. Yep,
your brother and I had a good laugh on that. Sorry, Joe.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so confused. So I was cataloging my slab collection this week, and there's things I was looking at that I couldn't find anything in those grades, and like it was like a 9. I was looking for a 9 of a card, a BGS 9. It was a Chris Paul rookie to 250, and I only found raw. So if I'm looking and I'm trying to catalog and put the price down, what's the difference between a raw and a BGS 9 per se, or a PSA 9?
What's the card?
It was a Chris Paul rookie to 250.
I mean, on that card, a 9 is probably a decent upgrade, right? Like, that's the difference too. We get lost, and we'll bring Alex on in a second. I think he's backstage. We do get lost in the shuffle of like, oh, a 9 is the new raw price. For some stuff, it is. For even a Chris Paul, he's a 2005 rookie, I think. 20 years ago, a PSA 9 Chris Paul probably outsells a raw by a good amount. Thank you for your
guys boot me off because
get out of the way.
I
don't like graded cards. Why would you want a nicer card? I want a downgrade. I was going through my Chris Paul.
We need the hook.
I have Hornets cards and 75 kids. Yeah, let's throw Joe off. Let's bring Alex in. Get some other perspective from the show. Danny, I do want your perspective as well. But Alex, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Clever Cuban.
What's going on?
Yeah, we met at the show.
We were sitting at that same table at Starbucks, by the way, when Jared McCants was serving coffee later that afternoon.
Huh.
What a treat.
Yeah.
Alex does not care about that at all. Good. That's fine.
Neither did we, to be fair. We're sitting there. We were having a meeting. We didn't buy coffee.
Correct. We do big things. Hey, Alex, I told you to be super quick. So I'll give you my take. Actually, no, you give me your take first. Just overall, what is your impression of the show? Good, bad, ugly? Maybe you can do all one of each, or however you want to take that. Elevator pitch on the show.
Yeah, I think it was a good show. I don't know that I'd call it a great show, but that's from a card show perspective. I think that from a growing the hobby perspective, it's huge, fantastic, love it. Really, really impressed with what they put together. It's amazing, all the athletes and everything. It really seems like it's a great marketing moment for Fanatics, for the hobby, things like that.
An event.
In terms of getting these athletes involved, seeing, everybody coming and buying cards, engaging with fans, etc. It's a really, really great thing. Seeing all the young people at the hobby that are there, that are wanting to buy cards, that are wanting to engage and participate in the activations, etc. Really, really cool. I want more cards, but I always want more cards. I'm a card guy. Like, that's why I go to these shows. And, comparing this to the National, for example, the National has, 10, 20, 30 times the amount of cards that are there. I like a good value box, and this was a very just high-end show, I think.
That's fair.
I heard you guys talking about your upgrade on your Larry Bird rookie mic, that's an awesome high-end card to grab. I'm not buying $12,000 cards. I'm buying $12 cards.
Right.
And not many dealers had any value boxes because the show, the number of tables that you had, the space was not huge, and you want to have the big expensive things, which I do think is an interesting dichotomy, that you have a audience that is, I think, more so geared towards people that are big sports fans and newer to the hobby.
So you need small end stuff, almost lower end stuff for them.
Exactly. You would think that would be the better cards that would perform while you're at a show like this, because you're not going to get the dad who's bringing his 8-year-old son to just come and do all these fun activations and maybe meet some YouTubers that he likes, that's going to go buy the $3,000 card.
That's
but
fair.
If they see a $15 Aaron Judge card, they might buy that, and that's how you get people into the hobby. So I think that an opportunity is how you can grow in terms of the card show to enable there to be more space for that lower end stuff for the average collector.
I've got your answer. Danny, go ahead. I've got the answer to that problem, by the way.
Well, go ahead, Mike, because I want to change to something else.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm Fanatics, here's what I do next year. Because again, and I've said this a million times, just because they have 1% of sports fans are collectors, only 1%. That's the easiest lift, though, is to get these guys in. Here's your solution. Next year, you literally run a lottery system. You offer 25 guys tables for $500 or whatever, dirt cheap, and you set up the value, the welcome collector corner, whatever it is, and you literally outline to those dealers, no card over $100. We want this thing loaded with value boxes, New York team centric, literally just everything for, hey, I'm coming in with my 7-year-old who's going to destroy this thing anyways. But that's the landing zone where he can come. It's the closest area to the activations. Go buy a $9 team bag that you've made up of his favorite team. Go buy a $15 Judge, all that stuff. I would literally have that as the whole welcome to the hobby collector section, and I would also add another 100 tables, and then you can bring the price down to $2,000. I don't know who's applauding, but I'll accept it. I do. I think you definitely focus on that new collector, and then you just expand what you had. Because for me, the card show was great, but you're right. The audience of people looking for that type of stuff is small.
Yeah.
Alex, a couple of things. $70 to get in for Friday and Sunday, and $300 and some for the 3-day pass. It was the only way to get in on Saturday. I think that kind of makes it hard to bring the family and kids out before they even get to the cards and everything else.
It's expensive. That's another very, very true thing that it is. It's not easy to get in, and you have to be in the New York area as well. That, like, I know that they had talked about doing the different Fanatics Fest kind of across the country. I know they had Orlando that they canceled last year. I'll be curious to see if they continue to do it, just as the one big show, but it's also not accessible for the average person from a costing perspective. We've got the national NASH Nashville show here in a few weeks, Mike.
Greatest show in the world.
And that's what, $5-10 to get in.
$5 to get in. Yep.
Kids are free. Like,
hey, Alex, I have let me ask you one other thing before we dump you. I am curious. I know you weren't interested in the activation stuff, but my thought, I know you've got a kid even younger than mine. Theo's almost 2. The whole time I just thought if little man was 5, I'm all over this event. Yep. So I see the appeal. I am curious. Like, I want to see the card show expanded. I want to see lower end stuff. Like the guys trading at the tables, like the athletes, and the activation. A bunch of the curmudgeons hated that. Like, I've seen a bunch of stupid people with microphones and cameras on social. Oh, this is all staged, all that crap. To me, I think my kid's going to go nuts for that in 3 years. Where are you at with that stuff?
Yeah, I think the activations are great. I think that's what is actually bringing people to the show. I think that, to your point, that that 1% of sports fans are actually collectors. I think that the majority of people that are actually paying that $60, $70 to get in, they are there to go see Tom Brady's Super Bowl game used jerseys. They're there to run the 40-yard dash, to see Tom Brady do his WWE superstar entrance as a part of the Fanatics games. They're there to do those things, to engage with the athletes, to feel like they're closer to the sport and kind of engaging with the leagues. And I think that is, Fanatics knows their audience. They know that that's the people that are coming to this. So,
agreed.
Yeah.
Clever Cuban, check them out everywhere, socials, whatever. Hopefully doing a thing over here in the near future.
Absolutely.
We'll try to sign them. We're excited.
Awesome.
Alex, thank you for the time, brother. We'll see you.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
Haley, quick hook on that. I like that. Gone.
Yeah.
He didn't even finish his sentence. He was out. We have one more. Troy's supposed to join. Haley, is Troy with us or no? He's in Buffalo, so I don't know.
Here he is. What's up, Troy?
Look at this.
What's going on?
Just reeking arrogance and confidence. I like it. Can't tell where one stops and the other begins.
Arrogance and confidence. I would not use those two things to describe me right now after driving through the night, then getting back to Buffalo at 1 a.m. and being up here. Back at David Adams, bright and early though, 8:30 a.m. I'm back. I'm back.
You had a little different experience. We're trying to get in the quick reactions. You guys were set up in the breaker. I don't know, pavilion is the right word, but whatever. The live breaking area, breaking on Fanatics Live. You just give like the quick, like, what was that like? What was your experience there?
Yeah, so it's funny because to start off, when we got there, it was just about us being at our normal booth where we're selling our waxes as per usual, and then getting some floor content. Well, they came over, they ran over real quick. They're like, "Hey, somebody, something happened, dropped out, whatever it was." They're like, "You want to go break?" I'm like, "Done." Calling the reliever. I'm like, "Let's go, let's do it."
Oh, really? That wasn't. You guys weren't scheduled.
No, we didn't end up being scheduled though, because we were going to do some floor content, and then of course, I was just helping the booth when I could sell some wax in that. And yeah, they just had a thing where they're like, "Hey, we got a slot open. You want to come over?" So
dang,
grabbed some product real quick, ran over there. Luckily, it wasn't too far from us. I loved the concept, to be honest with you. I thought it was great. And I forgot who said it to me, but I laughed because they called our cubicles. It looked like we were playing Hollywood Squares.
It did. That's fair.
So I felt like I was Kathy Griffin during the Hollywood Squares there. But no, I thought it was a cool concept. Super easy setup too. I mean, it was literally just a MacBook in front of me. I logged in all our credentials for David Adams. and pretty much just hit go. And we just did auctions. I had a good time because I got lucky too that while I was there, I think Saturday and Sunday, I ended up doing a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours. And both times there was somebody on the main stage. I think it happened to be WWE both days. So that was great. So, I'm trying to lock in and break, but at the same time, I'm trying to watch what's going on the main stage there. But yeah, it was very like clean and easy, meaning there was really no bugs, no technical issues. You kind of just hopped in, started the thing, and you went away. You went.
Troy, compare the crowd there to the crowd at the National.
It's interesting, right? I will say, I know people behind the event, some people, and I don't know everybody, and of course, just the venue itself is more. It is New York City Comic Con, and I think I've heard that in interviews and people have talked, and I think it's the truth. It definitely has a Comic Con vibe to it, meaning Friday was good. I mean, we had great sales pretty much Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I think you noticed it just started to dissipate a little faster than the days before. But I mean, I told people this, for us as one of the only people that are selling wax there. It was really busy, but it wasn't national busy. Like we were absolutely going the entire time and just crushing through products and sales and that, but it's nothing like the national. And it's different in a way where you definitely are getting that foot traffic of people that, may not be hardcore collectors. And so, there's a lot more questions, which is great that we have a very knowledgeable staff that can help people out with, hey, here's a product that, might be more affordable for you and the kids if you just want to have fun breaking, or if you actually do want to try to hit something, here's something. You had a lot more of those questions, whereas national, it may not be as much dialogue because people just come up to the booth, know what they want, give me 5 boxes of this, or, you just build a stack for them around the booth and you cash them out. So I think I like that. I like the interaction a lot in terms of, it's a thing that we've always talked about since, Fanatics and that team has gotten into the space, is educating people on the hobby. And I think Fanatics Fest is very much a key component of that, where people are coming up to your table and you're able to, let them know. They're like, hey, what's going on? And you can kind of give them a little bit of that knowledge before they leave.
Noticeable, like the amount of new people here?
Yeah, I think so. And I'll say I got that from the content we did. So the content we decided to do, the direction we decided to go in for this Fanatics Fest was, we had some cards and we were able to walk around and find kids that had jerseys of the player of the card we wanted to give them. And we kind of talked to them a little bit, but then
GA
set them up and we're
targets
like,
children. That's the theme.
well, now, Mike, what are we doing here?
No, in a good way. I did see the stuff though. You were like just giving out cards to kids, like matching the jersey.
And it was cool because once again, like you go to the national and you could do that, but it's kids with Zion cases.
Yeah, they don't want
bags
it.
Right,
what's this $10 card? Yeah, no.
Exactly. They'll sit there. I'll give them the card and they'll just look up comps and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these kids had genuine reactions, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and it's fun. For me, it's like I think it's good to pay it forward or do stuff or have an event like this and do stuff like this, because I didn't have this as a kid.
Sure.
Nobody was walking around giving me free
people wouldn't
cards.
speak to us at card show. We were kids. People didn't want to see you because you're not buying, you're just taking up space. I'll tell you the other huge indicator, the trade up challenge, which almost always I hate. At this show, though, I was there for 3 kids at different tables, and it was like, hey, here's a $5 card I'm trying to trade up. At the National, here's a $7,500 Mahomes I'm trying to trade up. I'm like, you're 11. Get away from me. Go play in the parking lot. I don't need you anywhere near me, kid. You're 70. No. So I actually thought that was kind of cool. Like kids were genuinely like, oh, here's just what's that parallel? I don't know. It's Aaron Judge. Who cares? I just like the card. I did think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping one day that we can somehow have a traveling tombstone that will be set up in front of shows that'll say RIP Trade Up Challenge.
Oh, absolutely. You know what I love too is when the parent is standing behind him, and I'm like, hey, deadbeat, before I call DSS, why don't you give your kid $20? You can buy a card. Like I was at a table legit. I don't know if Danny, if you were with me when I got that bird tag, I was negotiating with the guy. The kid's dad did it for him. And the kid was like 11. I was like, this kid has taken like statewide testing at school. He can speak to it. If you want to trade up at that point, you could ask for it.
If you have a beard, you cannot do the trade up challenge.
Yeah, the kid had more facial hair than Danny. I was like, just get away. Your parents don't love you, and I'm not trading up for you. So
You should have done like check the birth certificate, like what do you call it, bench warmers, when the guy writes in crayon, I am 13. Checking IDs.
Yeah, I like it. There you go. DA Troy Licastro. I've never said your last name.
You did well. I mean, you did well because I mean, your last name obviously ends in a vowel as well. So we're basically part of the brotherhood there, I would say, of the vowels in the name.
I don't know if Danny's is a vowel there or not.
I'm sometimes a vowel.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah. Every once in a while, yeah. Whenever you feel like it, you can turn it on and off.
I'm also a Gemini, so it works out.
Brag about it.
I'm a Leo. I don't know what that means to any of you, but I'm a Leo. Just throwing it out there for anyone.
There you go. Troy the Leo.
Thank you.
DA Card.
Troy the Leo.
Check them out. You're breaking on Fanatics Live. Everywhere else, you guys can find them. I mean, if you don't know DA at this point, the show is not going to educate you on it. So if you don't know him now, we don't want you to know him.
I think that's fair. You know, I'm trying to build a following, but like whatever happens at this point is whatever happens.
It's overrated, Troy. Who needs anybody?
I texted Troy like 12 minutes ago. He jumped on. MVP of the show.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to be the Brandon Inge of the hobby, just utility guy. Just plug me in. You know,
Perfect.
No, it's like it's the 3 stars in hockey. You're definitely one of the 3 stars.
Now, see, Danny, you're talking my language, brother. I'll take a star in hockey. That's a huge compliment.
There you go.
There you go.
Sheesh. All right, Troy. Thanks for the time, brother. We'll see you soon.
I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks,
All right, buddy. See ya.
Later.
Tell you, 2 guests who know how to get out. There's nothing that makes me happier than people leaving on time.
I think you're right that Haley's got a quick trigger finger.
Great. Yep.
I love it.
Joe came back. Joe, your thoughts?
Well, experiencing some serious FOMO.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't get to go there, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Troy, for my money, is fantastic because anyone who could bring a Brandon Inge reference, which I mean, that was one of the first baseball games I ever attended, seeing his debut as a West Michigan Whitecap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Came up through the Tigers organization. So Troy, you got my heart, man.
Also dropped a Kathy Griffin Hollywood Squares reference?
Yep.
Thought that was pretty solid, and rolled with the kid joke. You can't.
Except it was the new Hollywood Squares. I didn't want to get into it. You have to go Jim J. Bullock.
It's amazing. Danny has never been that excited about anything on the show, but Jim J. Bullock talk, he is just fired up. Look at that. Him and Muhammad are both smiling over there.
Too close for comfort. I'm telling you, Jim J. Bullock.
So I have a reaction to that. Since all of you guys were there, someone who wasn't there, I did watch all the social media stuff on it. It was great. You know, it had my attention for way more than 30 seconds watching it. But when you guys keep talking about like the example of, you know, spreading the hobby and that kind of stuff, when Danny went in and asked the real question about $70 on Friday, 70 on Sunday, 300 for the whole weekend, and that's the only way to get Saturday. I mean,
I didn't know that.
That's insane. And that's not even talking about the parking to get there.
Oh, you're spending $75 to park anywhere, minimum.
So you're not, and Mike, I mean, when they were talking with Alex about, you know, having the dollar boxes and that kind of stuff, the people that are coming to this event are not looking for dollar box items, period.
Well, but hang on. But if you're not a card guy at all, and you're bringing your kids for the experience and all that, and then they happen to see, oh, there's cards there, I do think a lot of those guys are going to spend $20 or less on a card. Hey, go get 10 Aaron Judge cards for $1.
They can't get a bottle of water for $20 there. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, they're not coming there they're coming there to hopefully get an autograph, to meet their person, but they're not sifting through a dollar box. You literally, Fanatics Fest looked amazing, dude. The intro, Jesse's videos there, like the whole building looked fantastic. And I think Troy's analogy of it being the Comic-Con, New York City Comic-Con, I think that's spot on. But it has to be, you can still have it there as the home of the original Fanatics Fest. But if you're going to spread the hobby and you're going to build future collectors, you can't do it in one of the most expensive places in the world. I mean, even to
Well,
fly
hang on.
in.
Let me push back though, Joe. So like, they only want to buy expensive cards, but the ticket's too expensive. I guess my point would be like, which is it? If they're dropping that because it's New York and they know they're spending money, then they don't care about spending $70 to get in.
No, my thing was on people wanting to have a dollar box there to sift through, or someone who's going to buy, a dollar card. Like, you don't have those customers, I don't think, coming through the door at even $70 a day. You don't have them coming in. And honestly, Fanatics is so smart with how they do it too, because having those events on Saturday, like, if you're going to make the trip, if you're not local and you're going to make the trip, you're buying the $300 ticket. There's no way you're missing Saturday.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, I was only there Saturday. Yeah, like that Saturday was absolutely insane. I will tell you though, if you're going to do it, like if I was ever going to bring Theo, let's say in 3 years, I would go Friday or Sunday. Give me the 2 slow days. Yeah, the athletes are smaller, but there were athletes every single day. But I guess that's kind of like my thing though. It's like, hey, $70 is way too expensive. Well, if that's the thing, then. But I guess I can see your point there. I really wanted to debate you and fight you on something, but now I'm just manufacturing it.
He's about
But
me
the
having
ticket
5
price-
kids. Like, I'm not paying $350 for my family to come in and then.
Don't have 5 kids. That's not my fault. Like, dude, at some point after 3, it's obnoxious. Take a breath. Leave
fair.
Emily alone. Are we
That's
doxing wives? Because, I mean, if that's the case, tell her to wait to make comments until the video drops next time.
All right, Joe, did you see the chat on the votes from the playoffs, hockey versus baseball, since you had some takes last time?
Yes, I did. And I'm actually super happy that, I mean, that's pretty solid
close.
engagement too, right?
Where was
I mean,
that poll taken,
600?
by the way?
I think IG.
What is going on?
Yeah.
Are we getting a tour of the city? What happened?
Yeah,
What's going
I think
on?
it was on Instagram.
Oh, that was on IG.
Baseball playoffs are fantastic, 100%.
Hockey.
But it was right, and it was close
Yeah.
though. It was truly close. But I think that also leans to the fact that I'm surprised how close it was. How
You
many
thought
people
baseball would
actually-
win just because baseball's so much more popular?
Absolutely.
You would, all 3 of us, though, agree hockey playoffs is not close.
Oh,
And I'm not even a hockey fan.
I
No, and-
disagree. I voted
and
baseball.
fact checked.
Nope,
Ray
there we go.
Bork did retire the year prior to the game that I was at. I was actually thinking of Claude Lemieux.
Oh, yeah, the fighter. So Ray
Yeah.
won and then walked off, right? He won in
That is
01,
correct.
2000, 2001, then left.
That is correct.
And the question was, it was which playoffs are more exciting, baseball or hockey? In case you
It's
did
not even
say that.
close. How do you vote for baseball is more exciting?
A game 7 in baseball, there's nothing like it.
Oh, God.
I mean, because you're literally like you're playing for one run, right? And sometimes there's a blowout, but I mean they're making pitching changes, hitting changes to just get that one run. And so every out is just like it's so exciting. It's like having your favorite player make the all-star team, right? But your team is not in the running for the playoffs. You just want to see, like, if it's a pitcher, you want to see him get 3 outs. Or if it's a hitter, you just want their 1 or 2 times that they're at bat, you want to see him get that one hit. So, like, you're hanging on every single pitch that comes through. Like, I get it,
Living on a
100%.
prayer,
But,
he might argue.
well, you're only halfway there. But, I mean, 100%. Hockey, with not having any commercial breaks, I mean, they use it sparingly, but, like, it's just nonstop action. I mean, hockey's tough. I mean, it's tough to
I'm
not
with you.
be exciting.
It's a lot of skating in circles and the open changing on and off the ice. I lose track of who's there, and then all of a sudden there's a goal out of nowhere, and we have to watch 3 replays to see what happened because there's no way you saw what happened the first time.
Back to Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive, my number 2 song in the karaoke rotation, in case you're wondering.
Acoustic or
So you got to just push through that there, guys. That's just a little plug. You push right through that. Don't even worry about it. Number 1 song you were going to ask? Rock and Roll Band, Boston. Smoking.
Look
Great
at Joe's
song.
face.
I can't touch those vocals. Boston's the greatest rock and roll band of all time. So,
Joe just drank sour milk.
oh god, Joe's thinking about having kid number 9 as we speak. Here we go.
that is the
Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul that I was referencing earlier.
Sure.
So,
Look at those
25.
sausage fingers. Nice, delicate. I like it.
big Jimmy Dean's.
Yep. Okay.
So like I told you, I was going through cataloging, right? looking at my stuff, and I had some like wild slabs from back in the post-COVID boom that were like giveaway slabs. One of the things I found a Romeo Langford to 15.
Celtics, right? Rookie?
Correct, but this is him in his college for Indiana.
Okay.
It was a Contenders Optic Collegiate, and it was a Mojo to 15. 15 of 15.
Killer.
8.5, right? PSA 8.5. I'm looking at this, and Danny even asked me, he's like, why are you want to ask about this? Because I put this down as a topic. So I'm looking at we always look at the solds, right, to see where it is. They're like, but you have to change it first, right? So I see the asking, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I look at the solds. I'm like, okay, this is more realistic because I think he plays overseas now. And
he's not even in the league.
He's in France.
Okay, in France. So $4 to $5 for a graded rookie auto. I'm looking at the asking prices and insane. I mean, you see a few people, but then you have like people asking upwards of $500, $250. Like,
good for them.
And I was like, what is? And I couldn't find anything. I was like, did he score 100 points? Did something happen? Did he invent something? Like nothing. And so that just took me back to when I'm cataloging this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, what are we thinking? Because again, another interaction at the shop this week.
Oh boy.
Guy came in.
Hang on. This is not the one me and you talked about, right?
No.
I don't have much of a conscience. That is not YouTube safe.
No.
Dude, that lady was a train wreck.
Well, I had
get
that
her
down
on someday, though. Anyways,
I'll try.
Yeah,
Shout out to Megan.
She doesn't have Wi-Fi, so it could be tough.
So this gentleman comes in, and I mean, people, they're just Googling the name and the card, and it pulls the wildest and highest price. And we went back and forth. I was like, dude, the value's just not there. And he's like, but it literally shows that that's what they're asking for. And I was like, yeah, you literally, here's a Wanya rebate card if you want to take a peek. And I'll show you what they're asking for that card too. And then that's when our friend Megan stepped in, which, by the way, I wasn't sure that this is a thing. She goes to sporting events and she gets individuals like athletes to sign her arm in Sharpie and then has them tattooed over. So her most recent one she was showing me was Royce O'Neal.
Yep.
Which,
another Celtics great.
No. Royce O'Neal is not a tattoo.
It is the Megan.
No.
Her body's a canvas. Her life is a canvas, Danny.
I have a tattoo, and it's not Royce O'Neal.
Yeah. Well,
is it Muhammad Ali?
It is.
Okay.
I did want to bring up the Royce O'Neal thing because I thought that was kind of wild. Like,
was he drafted by the Celtics, by the way? I'm not crazy. Isn't he the guy who couldn't travel?
No, that was another guy who went to the University of, or he went to Iowa State.
I'm thinking of the wrong person. Who the heck is Royce O'Neal?
He's like a third or fourth guy off the bench, a 3-and-D guy. Yeah, he plays for the Suns. Like,
I'm not
as recent as this past year.
Get Megan on board. I'd like their perspective.
Another basketball thing to bring up, another hot take. Lillard, Tatum, Halliburton, all number 0, all tore their Achilles.
Really?
Playoffs.
Dude, that was brutal to watch. Oh, Danny?
I was doing the Brian Windhurst. You ever see that?
No.
Yeah, that plus that. What do we got? We might have something.
Dude, that was devastating. They win. I honestly think they win that game last night if he stays healthy.
Dude,
he's going to miss the entire season, by the way. So was Tatum. These guys saying like, oh, therapy and all this crap, not with an Achilles. You're not rushing, and especially those dudes are young. You're not rushing them back. They are missing the entire season. My biggest fear is totally different situations, though. Indy changes nothing. If you're Indy, you just live with it and keep rolling. The Celtics, though, first of all, they're $85 trillion over the cap. They're going to move Porzingis. They're going to move, if they can. Drew Holiday's probably going to be gone. You're going to leave Tatum. They're going to have a horrendous season, and they're going to make a move to dump another salary. That team is going to get blown up this year.
Well, they said the Suns are either trading Bradley Beal or they're just going to pay him out. They're going to pay him out.
Dude, if you're the Suns, at one point, don't you just dump everybody? Just totally rebuild?
I still think Booker's a pretty solid player.
Can he ever be the best guy on a championship team, though?
Yes.
No chance. A homer pick. Oh god.
He's
Yeah.
Scotty.
That's the worst
He's
take
Scotty
in me.
Pippen.
He wishes Scottie Pippen, please.
Oh, he's a 2.
He's the
terrible.
deuce I would drop immediately. So I'll leave it with that.
So then for your hometown Celtics,
Yep.
I mean,
Please.
so did you say, Jason, you think Tatum was the number one on that team? I mean, didn't even
Let
win
him
the
in
MVP when they
led him in every statistical category and won a championship. So pretty
Jaylen
good.
Brown. I mean,
So we have 2 number ones. I'll take it.
MVP.
You would take Tatum over Booker without thinking, though, correct? You're starting a team tomorrow.
No way.
Who do you take, Booker or Brown?
Well,
I'm taking Booker.
I could argue.
Healthy.
I'll argue Booker over Brown. Fine,
What?
but Tatum, when they're both healthy, come on. That's a stupid homer pick. No one in the world is taking Booker over Tatum. Why?
Yeah.
What does he do better than Tatum? And I don't like Tatum, by the way. I'm having to argue for a guy I can't stand.
I think he just is a stronger defender.
Tatum has multiple all-team NBA defenses.
He was mentored by Kobe.
Kobe died. He's not even mentoring anybody anymore.
He's originally from Granville, Michigan, which
Fine. You know, I'm gonna
Michigan.
drive through Granville in a couple of weeks. Maybe
Okay.
I don't even know if that's true. I'm going to Traverse City. I'm excited.
Home of the. It's a shame you're not going 3 weeks later. It's a home of the Cherry Festival, which is absolutely lovely up there. The cherries are delicious.
Is it the same week as the National? Because I could
Are you-
blow off the National.
Are you just going to pop in?
No, that's Coast Guard Festival, Grand Haven, Michigan.
Gotcha. Very excited. Hey, speaking of, I had some sort of a connection here. We want to bring Greenie on, our first other show to join the network, our number 2, our first edition, our Jaylen Brown to the SCN Media Network. Trying to be a team player. Hey, I don't care what name's on the jersey. I don't care what team's on the jersey. I just want my name
There we
on
go,
there.
Mr.
that what it
Notre
is?
Dame.
You don't care about the name on the front. It's all about the name.
I
on the
don't
back.
care about this university. I just want to make sure Paterno's not here.
How's that for a transition?
There you go. Perfect. Greenie, Jeremy, welcome in.
That's some nonsense. Thank you. Thank
See?
you.
Perfect. I do work.
Well played.
You guys have been doing the Greenies. Is it Greenie? What's the Greenie show called? Just Greenie Sports Cards? Greenie
Yeah.
Live? Okay.
Greenie Sports Cards Live, hosted by Jeremy, who's up there in the middle, and I'm the sidekick on the show, quite frankly.
How dare you? How long have you guys been doing the show?
So about a year and a half, actually. We started it last January was our first show, 2024, and knock on wood. I mean, it's been pretty good every week for a year and a half.
And you guys do a truly live format, right? Live chat, streamed everywhere.
Yeah, it's actually the first multi-stream show for the hobby industry. So we stuck our flag in the ground about 18 months ago, as Greenie said, and we stream across multiple channels, and it is live, for better or for worse. We have tremendous guests, content, coaches, athletes, entertainers, hobby influencers, and it's just continued to pick up steam over the last year and a half.
And then you guys so we're going to move the actual live show. Is that going to I don't know. I actually don't know the details of this. Are you moving the live show on SCN YouTube as well? Or are we
We'd
getting
like
the
to.
after?
Sure.
Oh, good. I was
yeah.
hoping. I want live content on there. That's great.
Yeah,
I wasn't
we'll
sure
be-
though.
Yeah.
Well, they are now.
Yeah, they are now. I put them on the spot. You guys are coming over here live, right?
Yeah, we are now.
Yeah, we are now.
So Tuesday nights, is the time and day going to stay the same? Everything's staying.
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Ooh, I don't care for that. We're a central time zone network, so
They have a great guy
No.
every week who talks about the hobby news too. So that's another thing that's just
That's right.
fantastic about new releases and whatnot.
What's his name?
what a thrilling intro that was for Joe. They have a guy every week.
I mean, it's nice because on Greenie Sports Cards Live, they do allow 5 people on screen or 4 people in some cases, which is fantastic.
This is the beginning of the end. This is it.
a
I've been down
different
this road. This is not good. No. Dude, this is not. I'm telling you right now. Let me tell you how this day ends, Danny, for you and I. You and I get a text message. It's me, you, Joe, one of the 2 Greenies, either Greenie or Jeremy, one of the 2 from that team, and an unknown Phoenix number. And it's just, hey guys, I appreciate what you've done, but the whole reference to me and my tribe of 87 kids and talking about my husband and just not cool. So we're gonna have to part ways. It's just a signed E.W. That's how this day ends for you and me, Danny. And then Danny writes back. Then Danny just writes back, "Thank you, signed DB," and nobody knows what that stands for.
Just K.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good. So you got, I love, by the way, I mean this too. I talked to Greenie. I think I met Greenie a year or two ago at the National. I love the live format. Like, I think we're going to strive to get there at some point, but I do love that you guys do the live. You also get people on like instantaneously when there's hobby news, which is awesome. And so, yeah, I'm excited you guys are coming over. I didn't know it was live. I thought you were just going to dump it on the YouTube after. I'm much more excited about this now. So live Tuesday nights at 7. And then I'm assuming Haley's just going to cut up clips like she does and dump them on our socials also.
Yeah.
So I asked that live. Now it has to happen. I'm getting the
Yes,
hang of
we're
this
doing
thing.
that too.
I'm getting the hang of this thing. Yeah. I like this.
Yeah, all of us, all 5 of us, and even Haley, all 6 of us, we're going to be plastered everywhere. Yeah.
Great. Haley, you want to jump
Fantastic.
on? First six person window here. Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Haley's
did
in. Wow. Quick.
Yeah,
hook
so
for
she
Haley.
is real. So now we just proved that there is a Haley.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I do. I think I'm excited. This is like our first step in rolling out the whole network field to SCN. You guys have an awesome show. Like I said, it's a well-produced show. It's like an actual, like hopefully one of our flagship shows here on SCN. So I'm excited you guys are joining the family. And I think we'll do more of this crossover stuff. You know, we've talked about wanting to really build out this whole network. And so this is the first step for us. So yeah, I'm excited you guys are coming over, man. I mean that.
And Gio, let's give everybody here a little context too. So Greenie and I go back decades. We've actually known each other since we were about 4 or 5 years old. But as people know, Greenie's been in the industry for 20 years, buying and selling, and he's one of the foremost producers of collectible events in the country. He's got 25 plus shows in and around Ohio and beyond. And while I'm not necessarily I collect, but I don't buy and sell memorabilia, but I've been around the industry for about 25 years now, behind the scenes, intimately involved in producing the National Sports Collectors Convention through 5 cycles in Cleveland. I've been an event producer and media production in Cleveland. My family's been in media for 88 consecutive years in the Cleveland media. So that the combination of that, I think, is where a bit of the magic happens, where Greenie has the collectible industry aspect. I've got a bit of the media and event production, and then we get tremendous guests. And yes, Joe is on every week as our hobby insider. We cap that off with a live auction at 9 p.m. Alex Schott does a tremendous job as our auctioneer. He goes live every Tuesday and Thursday night on eBay Live. But the beauty in this is being able to multi-stream. We figured out how to go live on multiple platforms, whether you're watching on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook or the X, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's available across multiple streams, including Twitch. So you can catch us, you can interact with the show, you can comment, you can be a part of it. And we're just thrilled to be a part of the Sports Cards Nonsense family, as well as Collectibles on SI, which is our presenting sponsor of the show.
This is the professionalism I'm talking about. I was like, you guys do a cool live show. Jeremy just gave me that. See? This is what I'm talking about. One other thing, I did have a note too. Greenie, can you talk about the NIL stuff for a minute too? Because that is one other thing almost nobody does. And NIL is like becoming a huge part of this hobby. Can you kind of just give us like a little explanation there?
Yeah. So as Jeremy said, we produce these shows. And a couple years ago, we had a bunch of guests coming to the show, the Great Lakes Collectors Convention. We had a lot of local media coming. We had a couple collegiate athletes. A girl, Destiny Leo, was the Horizon League Player of the Year in basketball at Cleveland State. So we made these cards for all these people that were coming to the show. And lo and behold, we handed Destiny the card, and people from Cleveland State are like, no, she can't take that. And fast forward through a bunch of hoops, we were tried to figure out how she could accept that. And we got an attorney involved and trademarked, and we made NIL contracts. And now we actually make trading cards for collegiate athletes where they can make money on every card that sells. It's not a like, hey, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars and make these cards. We're giving them the ability to make as much money as they can. So, some girl or male, we have some football players and baseball players. They sell 20 cards, 100 cards. They're going to get paid for every card that sells. So it's been a really fun project over, roughly about the last 2 years. And I think we have over 70 student athletes at like 25 different schools. So it's pretty cool. And we have some things in the work this year with some more schools and more students. So, I mean, it's growing.
Hey, next time there's hoops, I'm going to introduce you to a man called Papa Gio. You don't have to go the legal route. It's the old Pesci theory. Papa Gio and a baseball bat for about 3 minutes. good things happen. So something also you can add to your offering. Hey, last thing, Greenie, too, the shows.
Yeah.
You guys do the Great Lakes show. You do a bunch of other shows too. What's like the next one? The next upcoming? Are you doing one when I'm in Michigan? Can I catch one on the ride up or what?
Well, if you let us know when and you give us some leeway, we'll make it happen. But we have a show this weekend. We have our quarterly show, Broadview Heights, 100 tables, sports cards, Pokemon, and I mean it's packed from 8:30, 9 o'clock when we open the doors till 4 o'clock. We had a show in Charleston, West Virginia, at their convention center, and we have some more things planned with some other convention centers and some other I don't know, places, malls that we do. But yeah, we have a few things in the works. One is going to be really cool that hopefully in next week's show we can talk about.
Nice.
Listen, as Jeremy said, I mean, when we had this discussion a couple months ago about joining the sports cards nonsense, it was really a no-brainer. I mean, it's funny, the nonsense, it's great, it's hysterical. I want to join that show one time, but in all seriousness, we really think that there's something here with everything that you guys are doing and we're doing together, and people are going to watch it and it's going to be enjoyable, and we try to bring pretty cool, exciting content as well as the live shows. So I mean, it's just mirroring everything together, which I think is really cool.
No, I like him. I mean, like what I said. I think you guys have it's much more professional the way you do it. I like it. It's just something different. So I think it's awesome. We'll have some other clowns on our side too. And we can keep I just think it's something for everybody with content. So, and then we just have more voices in the hobby to add to our show, to your show, whatever.
Yeah, speaking of voices, this doesn't work without the interaction from the viewers too. So whether it's our show or this show or any of the content, keep interacting with the socials, keep liking, keep following, and contribute. And so this has grown because people interact with the content, and that's the most exciting part.
Good deal. Joe, he just took your job, by the way. That was it.
No, I didn't get a chance to reference TTB, which having the ability to be able to interact is absolutely huge. And I absolutely love the people that are commenting on the YouTube page and giving the feedback. Dude, it's super fun, and it's super fun to get in there and then to be able to provide feedback to their comments as well. So again, please make sure that you're liking and subscribing to the Sports Cards Nonsense YouTube page. Check out all the socials as well. Follow that stuff so that you're getting the content that you want to have. And then I really do want to take a poll here. So if we can go back to the Danny, Mike, and myself, and even Jeremy and Greenie, who has the best hairline?
I've never seen either one of theirs ever. So
well, we'll go
because I don't have a hairline.
I think I'm disqualified.
Yeah, so, I mean, you might as well get Fabio in here. I mean, who are we comparing? You're the only one that has hair.
Well, Fabio and Mike. Got some hair. I mean, Mike's
has some hair. What? This is post gym hair. I'm dominating Joe.
Yeah, that pompadour.
Wet noodles across his forehead.
I do have. I'm on a hair diet. I'm trying to lose it all.
We should get Brian Urlacher in here.
Wait, Joe asked Mike if he was wearing plugs. That's what.
Yeah, I wish.
If that's a thing,
there we go. I like those awkward sounds when okay, pull the plug. By the way, Joe, my last suggestion, since you and your wife are doing this anyways, for the next week, why don't you commit to just speaking to each other in YouTube comments? A great way to get engagement up. Don't say a word to her in person unless it's through a comment on YouTube.
That's fair. I mean, she did give me some feedback, honestly, on the show, and I promised I would do an update on the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively situation.
Please.
That has been going on for quite some time. So the judge did just dismiss Justin Baldoni's countersuit for $400 million. And this was against Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. So that happened on the 9th of June of this month. And then Lively's legal team said that they hailed this as a victory and total vindication. Her lawsuit for sexual harassment and a smear campaign is going through, and that they will actually go to trial in 2026. So anyone who is wondering, this is all stems from the movie It Ends With Us, which was a book. Intense. So now you guys know.
It ends with us, and I think it ends with that comment. Episode 3 in the books. I would argue not as flowing as episode 2, but not terrible.
You got a tremendous editor though, so nobody will know.
And you don't tell the audience that.
I apologize.
Well, she'll edit this out too.
Perfect. Better not. No, absolutely not, Haley. Don't you dare. All right. Well, this will drop Wednesday. We'll be back next week. Greenie's Sports Card Show live Tuesday, 6 Central, live on the YouTube channel. Make sure you jump in and support those guys, and we'll be back next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Goodbye.